Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Read I.O. So last time, the group got fought off Andras for the second time. Kind of got their revenge for him stalking Mika. But not sure how that's going to go down. I have a feeling that there's going to be some sort of retaliation or something. Now let's find out.
No. それでは我がクリミナルの完全勝利を祝って乾杯！乾杯！
Since we successfully suppressed Andras, gave him his just desserts, and saved Mika, we've decided to celebrate with a toast to our favorite monjayaki joint, Mochizuki. Monjayaki, a Tokyo specialty mainly popular among young women. You are presented with batter and various uncooked ingredients, which you may then mix in according to your liking. It's similar to okonomiyaki, a Japanese dish similar to a pancake with various ingredients mixed in. But unlike okonomiyaki, you must never let it solidify. It's meant to be eaten in a semi-fluid state. Sounds interesting.
やっぱり大きな仕事の後の一杯は最高だね。どうぞ、もう一杯。お、気が利くね。じゃ、駆けつけ3杯といきますか？
Mayumi takes the empty glass and fills it to the brim.
おってでも、こぼれちゃうじゃない。
I rush in to suck up the foam, and then I chug down the rest.
いい気分。
さすがリーダー。いい飲みっぷりですね。
先輩、これってオレンジジュースですよね。
Yeah, I'm thinking they're all underage, at least most of them. So,
そうだけど、どうかしたの？
We're all underage here, yeah. So alcohol is obviously illegal for us. Criminal practice is strict discipline.
なんかビール飲んでるみたいですよ。だって今日はそんな気分でしょ？
しかし、ジュースで酔っ払った気分ってわかるもんなんですか？
そんなの勢い。
おやおや、タルちゃんたち、ずいぶんご機嫌だね。
あ、おばちゃん、今日は仕事がうまくいってさ。
そりゃよかったじゃないか。はい、ご注文のイカスミ麻婆。
待ってました。
リーダー、そういうの好きですよね。
何か文句でも？コウスケくんは嫌いなの？
いや、そうじゃないけどさ、たまにはこう、エビとか牛肉とか普通のものも食べたいなとか。
もんじゃに普通なんてないわよ。それにこれも美味しいんだからいいじゃないの。
まあまあ、そういうこうちゃんのために。はい。
うわー、海鮮デラックスじゃないですか。
これは私からのお祝い。
いいの？やったー！だからおばちゃん大好き。
今後ともごひいきに。
はーい。じゃあ今日はみんな遠慮しないでどんどん食べよう。
Set in front of us on either side are rows of ingredients of all colors, all waiting for us with their savory scents, all contrasting with each other and with the jet black squid ink monja.
今回のクリミナルの最優先任務はこの鉄板平原に生地の湖を形成し、美味しそうな具たちを湖ごと体内に回収することよ。
She loves to talk in that way, doesn't she?
合点。
無駄口叩いてないでさっさと混ぜる。
へいへい、あらよっと。はっ
や
ほい。
よしよし、皆の衆、その調子。
I scrape up the edge and bring it to my mouth. The rich, salty taste of the squid ink dobajang the light fluffiness of the tofu, the crunchy texture of the cauterized batter.
わーん、やっぱりここのもんじゃはうまいぞー。
あ、リーダー、何一人で食べ始めてるんですか？
あ、バレた？ああ、ユミもユミも。そうね、そろそろ食べ頃かも。コウスケは作る専門ね。
なんで？
海鮮もいいわね。
Batter with dashi and sauce really brings out the flavor of shrimp, squid, and scallops.
ってそれ、おばちゃんが俺のために持ってきてくれたやつですよ。
男なら細かいことは気にしなさんなって。
あんたら本当に仲がいいね。
違いますよ。
Or so they say, but they pipe down just like that.
美味しかった。やっぱもんじゃはここに限るね。ほんと、思わず食べ過ぎちゃってお腹がパンパンです。
I'm gonna have to have something to eat after this, because it's making me a bit hungry.
俺、もう一つ頼もうかな。
まだ食べるの？コウスケくん、相変わらずすごい食欲だよね。
食欲があるのは元気な証拠。人間健康なのが一番だよ。
そうですね。ユミもそう思います。悩んでた件も一件落着したし、これで一安心よね。本当にやっと安心して仕事に打ち込めます。先輩、みんなありがとう。
仲間として当然のことをしたまでさ。
困った時は助け合いの精神です。これでまたミカと張り合えるってもんだしね。
Each member cooperates to help each other out. It's like second nature to criminal. It makes me proud. Everyone's really growing up.
さて、問題も解決したことだし、この調子でコードも一網打尽にするよ。
Masumi's already set her sights on her next target. True, that is a problem I'd like settled sooner rather than later, but we're dealing with terrorists here. I need to remind her of that.
無理は禁物。一人で突っ走っちゃダメ。
そうだぞ、サミゾウ。俺たちはチームなんだから、やるときはみんなでやろうぜ。
こればかりはコウスケに賛成ね。ユミも一緒に頑張るから。みんな。もう、わかったわよ。一人で手を出したりなんかしません。よしよし、いい子ね。
I embrace Masumi and pat her on the head.
まあいいか。
I'm glad to have strong, matured friends by my side, but my real intention here is to not put anyone in danger anymore.
おばちゃん、ごちそうさま。
みんなまたおいでよね。たっぷりサービスしてあげるからね。
はい、本当に美味しかったです。
いやー、食った食った。
あんた食べ過ぎ。あれからまたもんじゃ一人で2枚も追加して。そのうち牛になるわよ。
なんだと？
もうなってる。
We just came here for lunch, but it's already well past sunset by the time we step foot out of the store. Now that's awkward.
まあ、今日はお祝いの席だし、残業はなしということで、現地解散といたしますか。そうね。ユミはまた本屋に寄っていくの？今日は欲しかったチャペック童話選集の発売日だし。
ユーミンはほんと本好きだな。
あなたも少しは見習いなさい。なんじゃその鳴き声は。じゃあみんなで寄っていきませんか？そうしましょうか、先輩。そうね、たまにはいいかもね。ありがとうございました。
I was skimming through some technical texts while waiting for Mayumi to pick out her book, but...
まったく、少しは勉強する気はないのかしら。
だって字ばかり並んでるのを見るとつい眠くなるんだよ。
Kosuke hasn't moved at all from the manga corner, which doesn't seem to please Masami at all.
ミカもなんか買ってなかった？ええ、ボードレールのパリの優秀ですけど、先輩も読みますか？今はパスかな。残念です。三分子の原点と言われる詩集ですごく面白いんですよ。
Sounds a little too refined for my tastes.
三日蔵はどうするつもりなんだ？
私は今日は家に帰ります。少し休養を取りたいので。え？そうなの？もしかしてまた何か隠し事してるわけじゃないわよね。
I'm a little uneasy since she's done it before, so I need to make sure.
いえ、安心してください。久しぶりに書店に行って家の本が懐かしくなっただけですから。いろいろ読み返してみます。うちにもいっぱい置いていかなかったっけ？あれでもまだ3分の1くらいです。あれ以上持っていくと先輩の部屋が埋まっちゃいますし。
It's a little hard for me to imagine all those books. But whatever, doesn't look like she's hiding anything at least. Though it doesn't look like she's regained all of her usual cheer either.
わかった。それじゃあみんな、また明日ね。
I see everyone off, and for the first time in a long time, have a refreshing solitary walk back. Today, all members return to their respective homes, leaving me with a rare night to myself. The room is saturated with silence, save for a melody of water droplets. It's not bad at all to have some alone time every now and then to enjoy nature's ambient soundtrack. Yeah, that sounds nice.
あれ？こんな時間に誰だろう？
I had a convenience store boxed lunch for dinner, so it's not like they're here to retrieve the tableware. Parcel delivery?
はいはい。
I connect my room monitor to the front door surveillance camera. Reflected on screen is...
こうちゃん。
He's terribly tattered.
リーダー、夜遅くにごめん。今夜だけでいいんで、ここに置いてくれませんか？
His face is swollen from someone hitting him. His whole body soaked since he's been out without an umbrella.
それは構わないけど、どうしたのその格好。ちょっと待って、今すぐドア開けるから。一体何があったっていうの？
それは、
He seems to be in some sort of situation.
まあいいわ、話は後。とにかく、まずは熱いシャワーでも浴びて、体を温めてきなさい。
すいません、リーダー。
I hurry to the washroom for a bath towel and drape it over his head.
ほら、さっさと温まっておいで。
Kosuke wipes his body apologetically and disappears into the bathroom. He must be frozen to the core. I should prepare a warm drink for him. I guess coffee will do. I'm pretty sure the stuff should be on this shelf.
あれ、どこだ？
It should be here. Why can't I find it? I always get Yumi or Mika to prepare it, so there has to be some. Where's that can? Here. Oh wait, this is cocoa. Not what I was planning on, but I can't find the coffee, so...
まあ、こういう時は、こっちの方がいいよね。
I ask myself for approval. Approval granted. Okay. First, let's take out a mug. Pretty sure I can just put the cocoa powder in here and then fill it with hot water. I don't want it to get cold, so I guess I should do that once Kosuke gets out of the bath. I tilt the can of cocoa above the cup and... oh no. Ah, nuts. I've really done it now. The cup gets half buried in powder, as does the surrounding area of the table. Oh man.
やっぱ慣れないことすると、ろくなことないな。今度ユミにココアの入れ方くらい聞いておこう。
That's what spoons are for. I tearfully scoop up several spoonfuls from the cup and return it to the can. As for the powder on the table, too much of a bother. I just suck it up with a hand cleaner. But still, I wonder what happened to Kosuke. He wouldn't come to my place if it were just any fight. Which can only mean one thing. I glance at the clock. Kosuke's been in the bathroom for about 20 minutes. I can still hear the shower. No signs of stopping. Kosuke's probably crying. But he probably doesn't want me to see him like that, so he's just trying to wash it all away. Well, that's the sort of impression I get, at least. He may act differently with the Shinozuka double, but he usually doesn't try to put on any airs around me. This is probably what they call a man's spirit. Well, let's just wait for him. The night's still young. I've got plenty of time to hear his story.
あ、いいお湯でした。
Kosuke finally comes out of the bathtub. I pour the hot water into the cocoa powder. Since I'm pouring from a pot, I shouldn't have to worry about scalding myself as long as I'm careful.
はい、これ。
I hand Kosuke the hot cocoa I slaved over.
あ、すいません。
Kosuke takes a tiny sip from the cup.
どうやら人心地ついたみたいね。
ありがとうございます。だいぶ落ち着きました。
He smiles feebly, probably because of his swollen face.
それで、一体どうしたの？誰かと喧嘩でもした？
ええ。親父とちょっと。
Just as I suspected. Well, I had him pinned down as 50-50 on whether he'd be honest about it or not.
親父の権限をちょっと使わせてもらって、こっぴどく叱られたんだ。
お父さんの権限ってなんだっけ？
I ask with a cherubic look on my face. Kosuke just hangs his head and refuses to speak. Looks like he's unsure whether or not to continue. Finally, Kosuke looks up.
みんなには内緒にしてたんだけど、俺の親父、サイバーフォースなんだ。
うん、私は知ってた。
Kosuke's eyes pop open at my nonchalant response, but after quick reconsideration, he begins to lightly scratch his head.
ああ、ったく、かなわないな、リーダーには。なんと。
Oh, looks like he saw right through me, too. We look each other in the face and exchange some awkward laughter. And eventually, Kosuke regains his resolve and begins to speak again.
親父はものすごく厳格で、家のことにはことさら厳しかった。だからうちには笑いなんていうものはなきに等しかった。でもおじいちゃんが大好きだった。ユーモアがあってお話が大好きで、おじいちゃんのおかげで俺は明るくやってこれたんだと思う。
そうだったの。
うちの親父もおじいちゃんぐらい寛容だったらよかったのに。
それで何があったの？
気づいていたと思うんですけど、この間の犯罪者リスト、親父の机から拝借してきたんだ。それが今日俺が持ち出したのがバレて。
それでお父さんはどうしたの？
The son of a Cyberforce head leaked intel. I can somewhat guess what the consequences would be like.
親父は理由も聞かずに俺をぶっ飛ばしたよ。お前はどんなことをしているのか分かっているのかってね。
そう。
There's nothing more I can say. Regardless of the details, I'm indirectly responsible for the leakage of classified information. I could very well be charged of a felony if I'm not careful. I gave our team the name criminal as a constant warning of how close we are to committing these sorts of crimes, but... Kosuke puts down the mug, with hands shaking ever so slightly.
危険なこと、悪いことをしたのは分かってる。でも、ミカゾを守るためにどうしても必要なことだった。
うん。
親父に殴られようが、理解されなかろうが、リーダーの言う本当の意味でのクリミナルの思想を貫きたかった。
ネットが正常であること、そして正しくあることは、世界があるべき姿でいるためにとても大事なこと。それは時として人命に優先される。
That's Criminal's Creed I mentioned whenever I get the chance. And this is how Kosuke put into practice his own interpretation of those words. It takes all I have to resist the urge to hug him close.
リーダーってサイバーフォースのブラックリストの中でずっとグレーゾーンに登録されているんですね。あのファイルで知りました。
I nod silently.
俺をクリミナルに入れたのは、もしかしたら警察の息子だから加えておけば多少は捕まりにくくなるだろうという立場的な理由だけなのかもしれない。
ギクギクギク。
The reason we invited Kosuke was because he seemed like someone who could provide sufficient backup, but I can't completely deny the reason he mentioned either.
でも俺だってメンバーとして俺にしかやれないことがある。
Kosuke suddenly looks me in the face.
俺は男としてメンバーとしてリーダーを永遠にグレーゾーンまででとどめ、ブラックゾーンに落とさない義務がある。
He places his hand to his chest like a knight swearing an oath before a princess.
クリミナルは俺が守る。できる限りの力を尽くして。
こうちゃん。
Those words strike the depths of my heart.
こうちゃん。
あっ！
Before I realize it, I'm swept away by emotion, like always, and embrace him. Ko-chan pats me on the back as if to soothe me.
こうちゃん、一緒に頑張ろうね。
はい。
This moment marks the birth of Criminal's lone knight.
あれ？ここって望月のある通りですよね。そうそう。あそこからはほんとすぐなのよ。
We're not here to eat monja today. We're here to introduce Nergal to that new customer I promised him. That is, to Masami.
ほら、ここよ。死の十字路って、これ、ジャンクショップじゃないですか。うん、表向きはね。まあ、見た目は怪しいかもしれないけど、ついでに店主は、怪しい上に銭ゲバだけど、腕前だけは確かだから。まあ、リーダーの推薦ですから、信用はしますけど。やっほー！
イシュタルが待ってたぞ。
約束通り、電脳修理のお客さんよ。篠塚まさみです。よろしくお願いします。
ああ、よろしく。早速だが、お嬢ちゃんはここに必要事項を記入しておいてくれ。
Nergal takes a medical records-like printout out of a documents folder and hands it to Masami.
はい。でも、本当に助かりました。電脳って合法スレスレだから、普通のお医者さんじゃ見てもらえないし、入れたのは海外だったから。
Masami quickly fills out the form and hands it back to Nergal as she speaks.
腕はともかく、あまり程度の良くないところでつけたんだろう。故障してなくとも、もともと調整が必要だ。
ここは、違うんですか？
有料だが、アフターサポートもきっちりしてる。うん。他に問題はなしと。右手奥にドアがあるから中で待っててくれ。
オッケー。さ、行きましょう、サミ。はい、リーダー。
The inner room looks like a lab. Sure gives the junk shop facade a whole new layer of sketchiness.
へえ。あの店の奥にこんなに広いスペースがあるんだ。ほんとね。これだけ広々としてるんだったら、店舗の方をもうちょっと広げたらよかったのに。
余計なお世話だ。さて、お嬢ちゃんはそこに横になってくれ。
Masami lies down on the examination table as told. Nergal puts on latex gloves, promptly opens up her biocomputer's maintenance hatch, and peeks inside.
主要回線が3本と。CPU が焼き切れたか。これで脳に衝撃がいかなかったってのは、安全装置の出来と、それに運が良かったんだな。
そんなに悪いんですか？
Masami's visibly flustered. I knew how bad it was beforehand, but kept silent so as not to disturb her.
ショートしてる部分が神経との接合部にかなり近い。もしそっちに火花が飛んでたら、命があったかどうか微妙なところだ。
Yes, biocomputerization brings constant risk of danger. That's why I hold back Sami's recklessness. Hopefully this will send a message to her to collect herself a little.
幸いメモリには障害はないようだ。修理といってもパーツの交換だけだから安心しな。
With that said, Nergal begins preparations. About half of a biocomputer is connected to the nerves, so biocomputer repair and maintenance has a surgical aspect to it.
麻酔はいらないな。お嬢ちゃん、心の準備はいいか。
そんな。
心配するな。脳にはもともと痛覚がない。麻酔の副作用の方が有害だ。
まさか拒絶反応抑制剤も使わないんですか？
That's what I'd like to ask. Every hospital and back alley doctor uses immunosuppressants for cybernetics procedures.
お嬢ちゃんくらいサイバーウェアの適合性が高いならそんなものは必要ない。
でも
Nergal suddenly starts taking off his surgical gloves.
いきなりどうしたの？
俺の腕が信用できないって言うんなら帰ってもらおう。
そんな。
That's Nergal's pride. Hurt that pride and everything will come to nothing.
サミちゃん、ネルガルはできないことをできるとは言わない。その彼ができると断言してるのだから心配ないわ。ここは任せましょう。わかりました。それじゃあお願いします。
そうかい。
With an extremely disappointed look on his face, he slowly starts replacing his latex gloves.
分かったってなら改めて始める。イシュタルは俺の代わりに店番をしていてくれ。商品の説明ぐらいできるだろう。
はいはい、わかりました。じゃあこっちはお任せあれ。
This is one of those times you just can't refuse your good old friends. And still, I dive right in, pounding my chest in pride.
サミのことよろしくね。
任せとけ。
リーダー。
Masumi looks at me with moist eyes. I guess despite outward appearances, things really do get scary when you get down to them.
大丈夫。私が知る限り、ネルガルが一度でもヘマをやらかしたことはないわ。だから、大船に乗った気持ちでいて。
俺はお前の知らないところでもミスしたことはないぞ。
だってさ。わかりました。よろしくお願いします。
I wave goodbye to Masumi lying on the operation table and head off to tend the shop for the first time in what seems like forever.
いらっしゃい。死の十字路へようこそ。これなんかいかがでしょう。全くもって使えない代物ですが、ニヤニヤ。
Okay. That's,
さすがお客さん、お目が高い。はい、ありがとうございます。また来てくださいね。
はい、終わったぞ。
After about 2 hours, Nergal finally comes out from the back room.
本当？ありがとう。
オペは完璧だ。今すぐスキップしながらでも帰ってもらったって結構だ。
ほいほーい。
I cheerfully head off to meet Masumi.
サミ、私がわかる？リーダー。
Masumi sits up when she hears my voice, but loses her balance.
おって。
I support Masumi by the back so she doesn't fall over. I thought Nergal didn't use anesthetics, so what's going on? Masumi looks kinda half asleep. Her expression makes her resemble her sister Mayumi a little more than usual, which is somewhat strange.
あれはリアルだったの？それとも夢？
She says something ambiguous without showing any change in her expression. Huh. Sounds like something happened while Nergal was operating. She had some sort of, you know.
どうしたの？
手術中にレム睡眠に入っちまって、まだ夢とリアルがごっちゃになってる。
Nergal laughs in astonishment.
一人の女の人が私の脳内に現れたんです。
Did someone hack their way in through the network?
大丈夫？乗っ取られたりしなかった？
ええ、それは全く。
ここは完全に電波を遮断するシェルターになってる。そんなことは物理的にありえん。
その人、彼が与えたこの傷、許してやってね。悪気はないのだからと言って私の頭を撫でてくれて。
You're talking about he?
そしたら電脳の切れてる場所がどんどん治っていったの。
Nergal frowns and points his chin toward the inner part of the room.
だったら彼女に礼を言っとくんだな。
There in the inner part of the room sits a giant tank. Does he mean someone's inside there?
どうもありがとうございました。
Masami both tilts her head to the side and bows it toward the tank. That instant, I almost swear I hear a bubbling sound echo from inside the tank. That's when I reach toward the rosary at my chest.
さてと、これでめでたく電脳復活だね。おめでとう。
We leave Nergal's shop and head back to the apartment where everyone waits.
そうですね。
For some reason, Masami's expression doesn't clear up.
どうしたの？どこか調子が悪いの？
いえ、ただ
ただ？
ひといい、さっきの女性といい、ネットには常人をはるかに超越した私が太刀打ちできないほど凄腕のハッカーが何人もいるんだなって。
I see. For someone as proud as Masami, the realization that their own biocomputer is a potential victim for interference must be quite humiliating.
それに比べて私なんか。
Masami bites her lip out of chagrin.
こんな自分は本当はゴミみたいなものじゃないの？ねえリーダー、私本当に役に立ってる？
I bring Masami into a gentle embrace.
何言ってるの？当然じゃない。全員揃って初めて天下無敵のクリミナルなんだから。
リーダー。
Masami buries her face in my chest. Her shoulders shiver ever so slightly.
サミほど切れるアタッカーはいないよ。だからさ、一緒にまたネットに潜ろう。ね。はい。
私。
Yeah, it's okay. Cry it all out. You're not alone. Your friends are with you. We can get through this together. For we are united as a team. Through the fun times and the rough, we've come through this all together. We're each an inseparable part of a single entity.
みんな、ただいま。先輩、サミちゃん、お帰りなさい。
無事に戻ったよ。
The very first to greet us is Mika. A little bit later, Kosuke suddenly pops up from inside.
よう、サミゾウ。新しい脳の具合はどうだ？ちょっとは賢くなったか？
私はコウスケとは違って IQ は高いんだよーだ。
へいへい、そうすかそうすか。
そうよ。もっともっとパーフェクトになったサミちゃんに狂気乱舞なさい。それはローランドゴリラ。
私も負けていられないわね。
Things really do get hectic when everyone's around, huh? Wait a minute. Where's Mayumi? Doesn't she know her sister's back? Oh, there she is, spacing out in front of the computer at a dining table. Looks like she's so focused she didn't notice our return. That reminds me, it's usually Masami who takes leadership of the computer, isn't it? Since the older one wasn't around today, it's the younger one's turn to focus on the net.
ユミちゃん、ただいま。
I walk next to the table, and Mayumi finally looks up.
おかえりなさいリーダー。お姉ちゃんの電脳どうでした？
もうバッチリ。すっかり復帰したわ。
そうですか。よかった。
Mayumi looks genuinely pleased, as if the news were for her and not her sister. She must really love her.
そうそう。今、ネットで見つけたんですけど、火が、
Despite Masami's merrymaking at the entrance, her highly tuned senses elicit a response. She rushes over towards Mayumi and...
さあ、電脳も治ったことだし、久しぶりに思いっきりダイブするぞ。ユミ、ちょっとパソコン貸して。
The computer switches over to Masami's hands in the blink of an eye.
ユミちゃん、それで？
Mayumi shifts her eyes to the monitor she had been using, but the screen had already changed. Looks like Masami had already opened another link.
そうだ。ジュース切らしちゃったようなので、ユミが買ってきますね。あと、今日の夕食の材料も、ついでだから揃えてきます。
What were you going to say?
ありがとう。
いえいえ、じゃあ、行ってきますね。
お、今日はユーミンの手料理か。楽しみだな。
今回は、お姉ちゃんの快気祝いだから、バーってやるね。
おお、そうこなくっちゃ。
She seems like she's trying to avoid something in a hurry. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Just what was Mayumi trying to say? I'm sure it had something to do with he, but... Mayumi had found something on her last visited page. As soon as Masami had closed it, she lost her chance to speak. Something like that, anyway. Ah well, it's not like I can't understand why Masami would want to use the computer as soon as possible now that she's got her biocomputer back. Well, whatever. I guess I'll go ask Mayumi later.
さてと、私は仕事に戻りますか。
I set off to get today's work done to make up for the time lost going out earlier. Why did she run away back then? If only she had stood up for herself and said what she needed to be said, things would have never turned out the way they did. Wait, what are you talking about? Exactly. Huh.
誰か話が聞けそうな人はと。
The next day, while everyone else is away, I dive into Babylon once more to gather info, but...
コードだって？そんな物騒な連中ここには来ないよ。
バイニングシーン？噂には聞いたことあるけど、どこにいるかまでは。
眠っちまー
Calm down, buddy. And well, now I realize the limitations of just talking to general players. Especially that last guy, one of Andras' friends, couldn't hold a conversation to save his life. I guess I really should just focus on key people. If I revealed my true form, I could probably get Tamas or Ningirsu to talk. Dro seems involved in all this as well, so if I see Lemchan again, should I try asking her too? Or should I try to talk directly with Enlil? No. Think here, Ishtar. Edok and Code are two sides of the same coin. It's dangerous to trust even Tamas or Ningirsu. Lemchan is likely Sin's shadow too, and Enlil's all-around boss at Code. Going in unprepared could very well be like entering a lion's den. In that case, perhaps I should investigate Edok/Code's headquarters, the Ziggurat. As I walk with my mind all aflutter, I eventually end up right next to the ziggurat.
あんまり近づきすぎると感づかれちゃうかな。
This place is full of nostalgia for my time at Anunnaki, when I had come and gone here just about every day. I would like to go, but that would ruin everything I've been working for up till now.
しょうがない。一旦出直すか。
Right as I turn back to head towards the gate, I catch sight of a lone woman. Isn't that, darn, I forgot her name. Yeah, he's the one that, or she's the one that Hinata was fighting as my memory's not working very well. Yeah, anyway. Her thick, long, dark brown hair flows in the wind as its waves sway slowly. Accenting her elegant facial features are her eyes of green. There's no mistaking her. She's...
久しぶり
Way to blow your cover, Ishtar. Overcome with joy for finding my old friend, I accidentally end up calling out to her, waving my hand.
あなた、誰ですの？
いやーね、イシュタルよ、イシュタル。忘れちゃったの？
It's only after I say that I remember. I'm in disguise right now. I hurriedly disengaged the color contact patch I installed.
ほらほら、この目を見てもらえばわかるでしょ？
Heterochromia. My eyes aren't the same color. A trait unique to me that no other player can imitate. Huh, okay. Heterochromia, originally Greek for different colors, but generally used to refer to a pair of eyes that have different colored irises, also called odd eyes. There are cases where they can prove to be a handicap for cats, such as making them nearly colorblind or deaf. Yeah. Actually, heterochromia can also be different colors within the same iris. I think for humans that's more common than what they're defining here, which is complete heterochromia.
ああ、確かに久しぶりですわね。でもイシュタルさん、わざわざそんな格好をしてまで一体どうしましたの？
Now that's kind of blunt. What happened to the warm, I'm so happy to see you again hug? Well, let's set that aside for now.
ちょうどよかった。今ちょうどバビロンについて探りを入れてるのよ。エアにもいろいろと聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
But talking about it here in public could very well be suicidal. There's always the danger that someone somewhere could be listening.
ここじゃなんだから感動の再会も兼ねて久しぶりにオフで会わない？
いいえ、私はバビロン以外の場所では誰とも会いません。
どうしてよ？
どうしても
久しぶりにエアの顔見たいし。ねえねえ、いいでしょ？
私の顔はこの顔以外ありません。それに外部に聞かれたくないお話なら秘匿モードで会話ができるはずです。
Aya stubbornly shows no sign of giving in.
でもちょっと内部事情に関する話なのよ。エンリルやシンに聞かれるとまずいの。
Exactly. Even if we talk in private mode, Enlil can always use admin rights to peruse the logs.
エンリルさんは今バビロンにはいません。会話が終わったらすぐさまログを完全に削除すればいいだけの話ですわ。
If she's going to be that insistent, then there are likely to be certain circumstances she doesn't want divulged to the public. And there's nothing I can do about those circumstances.
じゃあ秘匿モードに切り替えるわよ。ちょっと待ってて。
First, let's make sure Enlil isn't on. I can't see Aya lying, but you can never be so sure. Online user search. Keyword. Enlil. Submit. Enlil. Offline. True. Enlil currently appears to be disconnected. A little more relieved, I switch over to private mode.
秘匿モードに切り替わりました。これでよし。お待たせ。
それで一体何事ですの？
最近リアルスペースで起きてる薬物問題とかサイバーテロだとかっていうのは知ってるわよね。
それがどうかしまして？
それらの一連の事件は高度の犯行って言われているけど、どうもイードクも絡んでるらしいの。現在のイードクの最高責任者ってエンリルでしょ？だからバビロンに残っているエンリルとシンの動向が知りたい。
それだけ。
Aya speaks without a single change in facial expression.
それだけって、バビロン内では問題のないことでも 現実世界では大問題なのよ。事の重大さを分かってるの？
私はバビロンに支障がなければそれで構いません。私の仕事はバビロンの維持、そして発展。それ以外のことには興味ありません。
I withstand the frustration boiling in my stomach and change my question. You know, I have a feeling that she's not the real Aya. Could she be a shadow null? That's what I'm thinking right now.
じゃあ、ヒーは知ってるでしょ？
もちろんですわ。時々バビロンにも入ってきますから。
ヒーはいろんなところでクラッキング行為を繰り返してるみたいだけど、バビロンには支障はないの？
ないわけではありませんが、ヒーさんはそれ以上にバビロンに利益をもたらしてくれていますもの。
え？
Exactly how is destructive conduct related to the advancement of Babylon? I kind of wanted to ask that, but not so much after seeing Aya's face.
利用価値があるうちは使わせてもらいます。でも邪魔になったら。
Aya's lips form the shape of a crescent moon as she speaks. I'm not liking this at all. I avoid contact with her narrowed eyes in fear of getting sucked into their dark depths. She has a very beautiful yet ghostly mask-like smile. My hairs stand on end, as if my spine had been pierced by a column of ice. She's definitely serious. My left eye can see the chill breeze emanating from Aya's slender body like dry ice.
エア、あなた。
My words disappear into my throat, frozen in fear. She's no longer the Aya I once knew. Eventually, Aya took my silence as a sign that the conversation was over and silently left. I come back to the real world and feel released from that overbearing cold. Still, something's off about her behavior. Aya is a woman of a diligent nature who always listens courteously and gives good advice. So what changed about her? My head's bogged down with nothing but questions. I can't come up with a single answer. I don't have enough concrete information. Next time, let's do a more pressing investigation, even if it gets a little dangerous. Who could that be? The double waves their hands on the monitor. Is it already that time? I look at the clock and see it's past 15:30. Just about time for the members to start crawling in.
はいはい、今開けますよ。
こんにちは、リーダー。こんにちは。
今日はずいぶん早かったのね。
そうですか？いつもだいたいこの時間だと思うんだけど。今日は本屋さん寄らなかったからね。あ、そっかそっか。それで今日は何か一つ足りない気がしたわけか。ごへん？
Seeing the cheerful double just melts away the depression I felt from my encounter with Aya. There's something white on Yumi's forehead.
ユミ、これどうしたの？
When I brush away her bangs, I notice a cold patch stuck to her forehead. Looks like she got bumped on the head.
話せば長くなるんですけど。
まあ、立ち話もなんだし、上がって上がって。
はーい。
Once inside the room, Yumi begins her tale in her usual gentle tone. The day before yesterday, I met Hinata-kun at school.
ひまわり少年と？まだあんな失礼なやつと付き合いがあったの？てか、頭の単行部と何の関係もないじゃない。
まあまあ、まずは最後まで話を聞いてみようよ。
失礼ってすごくいい人なのに、なんでそう思えるのかな。ひなたってどっかこううさんくさいんだよね。
Masumi pouts her lips. Looks like she doesn't get along with that boy. Sunflower boy. His full name was Aoi Hinata, right? Wait a sec. Aoi. Where have I heard that name before? That's right, I'm pretty sure Sein's real name was Aoi Mutsuki. Ha! There you go. Their ages seem relatively close and all, so maybe they're related?
リーダーどうかしました？
なんでもないの。こっちの話。
Oh, come on, don't keep it to yourself.
で、そのひなたがどうかしたの？
先日のナンクロの話をしたんです。楽しかったよって。
ああ、それでなんて？
お姉ちゃんがあっという間に解いちゃったって言ったら、ちょっと感心してました。あんなの楽勝よ、楽勝。で、別れ際に派手に転んじゃって。また？もう、本当にドジなんだから。
Huh. I don't remember that happening. When was that? I have to go back and look at that. I'm sure that didn't happen.
なるほど。それでそのコブはその時にできたものなのね。
Wait a minute. Does that bump look a little fresh for something she got the day before yesterday? Yeah. When I raise that question to Yumi, she continues her explanation with an embarrassed red face. According to her, the truth is, I fell today and hit the same spot. Oh. I see. That does seem like something Yumi would do.
ミカとコウスケかな？私行ってきます。
Masami gets up and heads to the entryway.
サミちゃんちょっと待って。
どうかしました？
二人ともよく聞いてほしいの。
The doubles' expressions stiffen. I guess they sensed my sudden change in tone.
青井ひなた。もしかしたら今回の一連の事件に関わりがあるかもしれない。
本当なんですか？
Unlike Masami, unable to hide her surprise, Mayumi remains silent and stares blankly. Looks like she just can't process what I said.
詳しくはこれから調べるつもり。だけどその可能性は高いと踏んでるわ。だからなるべくひなたには接触しないように。
やっぱり私の直感は正しかったんだ。了解です、リーダー。でもひなたくんはいい人なのに。
Mayumi looks at me silently. Her eyes ask, "Really?" I guess she can't consent to this sudden proposal.
絶対に会うなとは言わないわ。ただし接触する場合は常に細心の注意を払ってね。
わかりました。
お願い。あとこの件は私が話すまでみんなには黙っていてね。
Masami and Mayumi nod in unison, as expected of twins, but Mayumi's still drooping eyebrows indicate her continued bewilderment. It hurts to see her like that. Speaking of the others, they're still waiting at the entryway.
サミちゃんお願い。
Masami quickly struts off to go greet them.
さて、
Aoi Hinata and Aoi Mutsuki. I guess the two of them really must be siblings. Let's look them up. Aoi Hinata. Submit. Searching. Aoi Hinata. Date of birth 17 March 2017. Pisces. Age 15. Sex male. First year student at the private school Kyoka Academy. Tokyo metropolitan area resident. Currently lives alone with his father, Mitsuhiko. His mother, Himeka, is currently hospitalized. His younger twin sister, Mutsuki, has been missing for 2 years. A missing person report has been filed.
やっぱり
Looks like my guess was correct, meaning Hinata himself might have some connection to Sein. There are too many uncertain factors. I can't come to a solid conclusion. All that fills my heart is vague unease.
リーダー、コーヒー入れてきましたよ。
I was a little uneasy about it at first, but I'd say it was the right choice to warn those two.
ありがとね。
Mayumi's coffee is always good. That's all I need to clear the hesitation lingering in my heart. Well then, we've got another pile of work to do today. Let's get to it and get at it. Two weeks have passed since then. Wow. Okay. So wait, when is this? I didn't look at the date. It's the 22nd. Huh. Okay. Many things happened during that time, none of them quite like any other. May 9th, mass suicides on the day of the new moon. Many of the suiciders were, for some unknown reason, students at Kyoka Academy, classmates of the Shinozuka double. Some jumped off the school building, others jumped in front of trains, around 10 identified victims, and that's only the ones they could identify. The same day, a random shooting incident in the shopping district. The perpetrator was caught red-handed, a male high school student from Kyoka Academy as well. The media has been speculating some connection between the shooting and the recent drug issues. May 10th, the very next day, Kyoka Academy closes indefinitely after taking too much heat. Starting with the board chairman, several school staff members become constant targets of the media, and thus Masami and Mayumi become unable to attend school. They now spend their newfound free time either shut up in their home, or hanging out in my room. There was one other huge change. That Aoi Hinata boy was labeled a suspect for the series of events. Apparently he's suspected of being the narcotics dealer in question. And right after the incident on the 10th, Hinata suddenly went missing. The media spun this as undeniable evidence of their unfounded speculation. Though to be fair, in addition to hiding himself, Hinata probably was more or less involved in the incidents. I don't assume that anything is true based on speculation alone. I don't blindly believe news with suspicious sources either, though of course I don't turn a blind eye either. In short, I will keep a watchful eye on the situation until its truth has been validated. The double's reactions to the news were like anti-parallel vectors. Masami triumphantly said, "See, told you so," but Mayumi just collapsed and stared like an empty shell devoid of its soul. They've calmed down a little now, but Mayumi's been making a vacant expression every now and then ever since. The things that have supported Mayumi in these hard times are her friends, obviously, but also the mound of to-do work waiting to be done. I know how that goes. Business lets you forget your loneliness for a while. But her biggest pillar of support is definitely her elder sister, Masami. Despite her seemingly harsh attitude and lack of comforting words, I know well that Masami is caring for Mayumi in her own Masami way. It's as if the two of them are connected through an invisible network and provide heart-to-heart support. Invisible network. Most EM waves may be invisible to the human eye, but they are often said to have some sort of psychological or parapsychological effect on the human mind. Carl Jung proposed the idea of a collective unconscious, an invisible network which connects a defined set of the population, or perhaps humanity in its entirety. Synchronicity, e.g. when two people simultaneously and independently come up with a mathematical formula, and the 100th monkey phenomenon spread through this network. When the predictions of tarot cards or crystal balls come true, it is through use of this network. With that said, at this work's time of writing, the staff felt keenly aware of a portion of the invisible network. Huh. Of course, I don't believe in this, but 100th monkey phenomenon. This phenomenon is widely known from Professor Lyle Watson's books. Several years after it was announced, it became an accepted opinion that this story was false, and the theory was considered entirely discredited. However, in 2010, the theory was given a second look because certain experiments produced data which correlated with the theory's veracity. From this slow start, the theory gained acceptance in the academic world. Currently, in 2032, it has become heresy to even imply that the theory might be false. Perhaps this is also a manifested effect of the 100th monkey phenomenon? This is a bit off topic, but it seems the genius monkey who first discovered how to wash potatoes in the ocean was called Imo by observers. Fitting, considering that Imo means potato in Japanese. You didn't actually define it. What is it? Whatever. Masumi's nearby presence is truly what allows Mayumi to maintain her normalcy. That is the gist of what happened these past 2 weeks. It's as if the world had gone mad. And then, a certain something came to us out of the blue.
ターゲットからスパイ情報が届いてます。
Right as I was chugging along on another average day of work, I receive a message. To be honest, this isn't the first time, except all other times all the intel was garbage. That's why I've always had the results displayed on a side monitor as I do other work, but now... Whoa. It's displaying the corner of an abandoned building. A huge crowd is gathered under the moonlight, perhaps 100 people. What are they all doing in a place like that? In any case, it looks like Andras is a member of this congregation. Just what's going on?
神様、いよいよですね。
Scene? Where is she?
あのお方も俺たちに期待しているとのことだぞ。
The one who answers Andras isn't the Sin I know at all. Not even a look-alike. Just a chubby man. Isn't that...
神様、どうぞこれをお受け取りください。
ほら、約束のブツだ。
That Dro guy from before. Which means it's a completely different scene than the one from Anunnaki. Damn, wish he wouldn't call himself by such a confusing handle. Though I am thankful that my old friend turned out not to be a criminal.
マジですか？そりゃ頑張らなきゃ。
Well, you don't know that for sure. It just seems less likely, I guess.
どうしよう。その心構えがあれば、さらなるお言葉とご加護を賜ることができるだろう。
This isn't some sort of Lemchan fan club meeting called together by Sin, is it? That would be a terrible, twisted joke. I mean, just listen to the murmurs in the crowd.
これだけの人数が招集されるのは初めてだな。
今度は何をするのかな？
どうも大掛かりなことになるらしい。
There's a whole hodgepodge of people here, from men twice my age to girls and boys younger than even Mika or the double. Some of the people seem not fully aware of what's going on, but all of them are in serious discussion, some doubly so. Those as excited and hopeful as Sin and Andras are actually quite a minority. Whatever this gathering is, it doesn't seem like a fun sort of event. Far from it, it's something so serious I can feel it. Eventually, 2 silhouettes appear. Following behind them are 10 men shouldering a large box. Everyone begins to take notice and the background chatter dies down. Or perhaps I should say the men kill the background chatter. To start things off, the man with the intellectual aura begins speaking.
諸君、真の自由人たるイマジナリチルドレンの解放のため戦い続けてきた我々高度の壮大なる計画は新たな段階に到達した。
The other, larger man slings a machine gun ammunition belt over his shoulder, an impressive display of readiness to go to war.
真のネットワーク解放の日まで我々の戦いは終わることはない。あの横暴にして理不尽なエクサークを打倒するまでは。
コードは一体何をするつもりなの？
コード？やっぱりあいつと関係があったんですね。
Mika catches my murmuring.
お、スパイウェアをつけた会話ありましたね。
And her reaction attracts the attention of the other members.
リーダー、一体どんな情報が入ってきたんですか？ってこれってどういうこと？
As soon as everyone looks at the monitor, we're all sucked into the bizarre atmosphere displayed within. None of us can hide our surprise.
ともかく見てみましょう。
だが油断してはならぬ。我々は憎きエクサークに対してさらなる制裁を加えねばならないのだ。
エクサークって。
主張もなく散発的にテロを繰り返してたくせに好き勝手なこと言ってくれるぜ。
テロリストっていうのは大体身勝手なものじゃなくて？
かもな。
But still, I get the feeling that I know the voices of those two code members. Not from TV or anything like that, but from somewhere closer to home. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I desperately pray that it's just me and stare at the monitor. What stares back is... It really is them, Tamus and Ningirsu, my cadets from back when I was a recruit trainer at Anunnaki.
どうしました？リーダー？
ちょっとね。
I check everything out again. They're not the only ones. There are other familiar faces present. How could this be? Bitterness wells up from the bottom of my throat. The ones I have taught are now working as code activists. I knew Tamas and Ningirsu were EDOC members, so I recognized this as a possibility. But I just didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to think they were terrorists. However, the reality is that the successor to Anunnaki's throne, EDOC, and terrorist group Code are two sides of the same coin.
これまでコードは幾度となくエクサークに警告を与え続けてきた。自己改革を進め、悔い改めるチャンスを与えたのだ。
Well, hello.
だが、金と権力におごったエクサークは、ついに方針を改めることはなかった。今も情報を独占し、無垢の民を食い物にして営利を貪り続けている。
もはや穏健な手段ではエクサークの横暴を食い止めることはできない。今必要なのは血と恐怖とによって我々の意志を刻みつけることなのだ。
Ningirsu's declaration stirs the crowd with invigorating waves.
そんな、ちょっと待ってよ。まさかまたテロを起こすつもりなの？
アンドラスの仲間が考えそうなことだわ。
Her innocent words pierce through my heart. Did this all bloom from the seeds I sowed?
しかも血と恐怖ってことは。
目的不明なサイバーとリアルを問わない散発的テロはもう終了。明確にエクサークを標的としたプロパガンダを伴うテロ組織への変貌というわけね。
仮にサイバーのみのテロリストであっても甘くは見られない。メインフレームを掌握すればバーチャルからでもリアルをいくらでも攻撃できるんだから。
That frightening truth is evident even in what we do from day to day.
コンピュータ管理されてるならスタンドアローンじゃない限り支配できるはずだし。
It'll be far worse than that. Lives will be taken. Lives will be lost. They all wholeheartedly believe in the future of the ICs. And that wholeheartedness will be denied and outright rejected by the non-IC public. Has Enlil corrupted their ideologies this far? No matter the circumstances, the decision I made back then has come to this conclusion.
諸君らの中には同意できない者もいるかもしれない。もし我々とたもとを分かちたいというのであれば、今すぐこの場を立ち去ってくれ。
しかしその前に思い出してみてほしい。エクサークは我々 IC に何をしてきた？
With a single question, Ningirsu draws the attention of all of Code.
そのために我々がどれだけのものを奪われ、どれほどの痛みを受け、いかに悲しみと絶望を味わったかを思い出してほしい。その上での決断であれば、俺はその決断を尊重し、諸君が高度の不利になることをしない限り、決して手出しをしないとここに誓う。
Perhaps entranced by the benevolent speech, not a single member of the audience attempts to leave. The crowd's stirring gradually dies down, and silence finally returns.
彼らがどういう目にあったのか知らないけど、暴力に訴えるのは間違ってる。
Kosuke declares with a strong sense of justice.
そうね。テロはどこまで行ってもテロだもの。そうなのかな。みんな悲しい目をしてるけど。
The perceptive Mayumi overlooks nothing.
あんなストーカーの集団に何を言ってるの？
When I recall the times I was alone, the times I had Onesama and Babylon, and the times I had with Anunnaki, I can somewhat sympathize with what Ningirsu has to say.
諸君たちの覚悟、しっかりと受け取った。では、具体的な計画を説明しよう。聖戦のターゲット、それはエクサーク東京支社のデータセンターに決定した。
Data Center, more accurately Internet Data Center or IDC, provides internet connection, maintenance, and other practical services for any client servers stored there. They often provide disaster and crime deterrence, air conditioning, earthquake, and fireproofing.
目的は全データの奪取。実動部隊がリアルでのセキュリティを排除。コードブレイカーは支援だが、実動部隊の任務達成後はデータの回収を担当する。
行動開始は3日後の18時とする。満月の夜だ。今回は我々の決意を示すために、リアルかネットワーク問わず、障害は全て徹底的に排除する。
In 3 days, so May 25th. But why to coincide with the full moon? Is there some sort of religious significance?
では、今回の作戦に伴い、その貴重な命を懸けて現場で先行実務を担当する勇気ある者たちを紹介しよう。
さあ、前に出てきてくれ。我々の期待を担う者たちよ。
おお、いよいよ出番だぞ。
これで俺様もヒーローってか？
ああ、お前と俺はレム様に選ばれた優れた存在なんだ。さあ、行くぞ。
Sin puts on the airs of a hero and walks up with his chest thrown out in pride. Andras' face breaks out into a wide grin, and he follows after. Several others follow with tense expressions. Wait, how can they see Andras' face? Isn't this supposed to be from his point of view? Whatever.
みんな、厳しい任務だが、しっかり頼む。
Thomas offers each his words of appreciation and encouragement, along with paper bags filled with powder. Mika's eyes widen as she whispers, "No doubt about it, that's the stuff Andras had." Finally, Ningirsu takes some other items out of a box and hands them out to each of them. Tools of cold steel, each exuding a dull black luster.
おい、あれってサブマシンガンじゃないのか。それにライフルもある。
Just as Kosuke said, the box is packed with handguns, automatic rifles, light machine guns, and the like, probably enough to spread around everyone gathered here.
本物なのかな。
ああ、ほぼ間違いなく本物だろう。あの鈍い輝きを見てみろ。
でも、そこまで準備したってことは、今度は本当に本気なわけね。
As we murmur amongst ourselves, Andras bows his head down low.
万難を排し、コードと IC の未来のために全力を尽くす所存であります。
His power seems quite weak, and yet despite his weakness, he's quite oppressive. Truly a despicable man.
IC の未来って何なんでしょうか。
それは俺は IC じゃないからよくわからん。
こんな男に私たちの未来なんて語ってほしくないわ。
そうね。でも
Just then, Tama's expression suddenly turns stern.
どうした？
妙な電波。
Tama's hand reaches out to the screen and...
接続切れちゃいました。
あれ、 どうしたんだ？
やられたわ。
気づかれたみたいね。
The line to Andres' spyware has been cut. That's Tama's for you. Quite an excellent disciple of mine.
みんな、緊急でルートを閉鎖。わかりました。途中の踏み台も放棄して。
了解。
With meticulous attention to detail, we crash even the least accessed of servers. I feel bad, but it's a necessary step to erase our tracks.
切断完了。
防壁強度も最大まで上げるわ。
We deploy a minefield to further hold code at bay.
アンチプログラム展開しました。
With this much preparation, not even Tamus can tail us that easily. But still, forget about Nirgirsu, forget about Tamus. It's just a tremendous pity to see that my disciples have grown up to become this.
本当のテロだなんて。
ああ、大変なものを見ちまったな。まさかあれだけの準備してるなんて、ちょっとした軍隊並みだぜ。
今まで組織だったところを隠していたけど、とうとう本性を表したってとこね。
あの時、あいつが持ってた薬もコードのせいだった。
Just had a thought. Is it still not too late? Is it too late to prevent either disciple from crossing the point of no return? As we have a light snack in the common area, I decide to discuss what we're going to do from now on. But before I can...
メールが来てますよ。
え？
This address is unfamiliar. Virus check. Nothing. It should be fine to open it then, but...
何これ？
We will find you and kill you one by one.
脅迫状？
リーダー、これって。
コードからのメッセージですよね。それ以外のなんだっていうのよ。
リーダー、まずいですよ。ここは警察に。
言ってどうするの？他人の電脳にスパイウェアを仕込んだら逆探知されて脅迫状が来たなんて。
そっか。
ユンたちどうなるんだろう。
あいつ気づいたのね。ってことはクリミナルがスパイウェアを仕掛けたってコードに知られたってことじゃないですか。
Since it was meant as an anti-stalking program, it meant Andras by himself could not remember us. In other words, Thomas and the others may have released the protection.
ユミの言う通り、コードに命を狙われる立場になったわけね。
Damn it. What are we supposed to do? Before that, what am I supposed to do?
さっきのテロ計画の映像をサイバーフォースに送れば。
顔がはっきり見えてるのはほんの一部だけだったから、実動部隊、それに一部の首謀者は捕まるかもしれないけど、下手に通報して逃げられたらますます厄介なことになるわね。
じゃあどうしろっていうの？またあいつに怯えながら暮らせっていうの？
戦うしかないじゃない。
Huh? Oh. You mean defend against Code's terrorism with our own hands? But that would undoubtedly mean risking our lives. To come to that decision so easily would require a complete emotional disconnect from the present real world, perhaps something only an IC could do. Out of all the members, the Shinozuka double has the highest affinity for the net. In other words, they hold superior IC ability. But in regards to reality...
やっぱりダメ。テロを放置するのは論外だけど、手を出せばコードと正面からぶつかり合わなくてはならない。危険すぎるわ。
そうだぞサミゾウ、相手は武装集団なんだ。
警察に任せても殺すと宣言された以上、私たちは残党の報復に怯えながら暮らさなくちゃならないのよ。でもお姉ちゃん、ある日突然後ろからズドンなんて、私は嫌、絶対に嫌。
私だって。
I understand Masami's words and Mika's fears as well. But what can I do that will protect everyone?
リーダーからも何か言ってやってくださいよ。
Since I've already made it clear that we oppose code, we can't just stand back and watch. Besides,
そういえばリーダー、コードの誰かを知ってるんですよね。
eh? What are you saying, Yumi-chan? And so out of the blue like that, at that. What is this? Huh.
まさかそれってアンドレス以外にもって意味なんですか？
Hold on a second. I can't just drive criminal to the point of death. Those are my disciples, so I and I alone must pay the debt.
そういえば確かにリーダーすごく口数少なかったし、あの目は何か思い出してる目だった。
Hold the phone. When was Sami that perceptive? Did Yumi tell her through twin magic?
リーダーが隠し事なんてらしくないですよ。
まさか先輩一人でやる気ですね。
ちょっとそんなわけないじゃないの。
Not even I believe that lie.
先輩、私の目を見てください。目をそらさないできちんと見てください。
リーダーも上に立つ者としていろいろ大変なんですね。
そんなみんな何でもないんだってば。
What's nothing? This is a completely inappropriate time for such superfluous words, but I don't know what else I can say.
サミゾ
わかったわ。わかったって何を
Kosuke grabs me from the right, Masami grabs me from the left, and they restrain me on the sofa. Mika glares at me from the front, and Mayami looks at me from the side with worried eyes. I can't take it. My emotional bond with all of my team members has grown just too strong. There's just no possible way I can trick them now.
わかったわ。
I've got no choice but to give up and tell them everything.
さっきの映像に映ってたコードの幹部2人は私の教え子なの。プログラミングやハッキングを直接指導してた時期があって。
やっぱり途中からそんなことじゃないかと思ってましたよ。
それにさっきの映像を見たら他にも何人か同じように指導した子たちがいたみたいだし。
そうなんだ。
あの子たちはずっと私の代わりにバビロンを守っていてくれた。でもそのせいでエンリルに毒されてテロリストになり下がろうとしてる。
そういえばリーダーは今まで昔のことを話したがりませんでしたもんね。
私が彼らを見捨てず見てあげていればこんな歪んだ思想になんて染まらなかったはずだと思うとどうしてもね。
そんな、先輩はその人たちを何とかしたいわけですよね。
Mika's eyes cloud over with criticism, yet at the same time they say, don't abandon them.
そうね。コードは今度のことを一大転機と考えているようだから今回のテロを未然に防げれば誤った道から連れ戻せるかもしれない。でも
しょうがないな。そういうことなら覚悟を決めるしかない。
でもそんなタンムーズやニンギルスのことは私個人の事情に過ぎないのよ。危険すぎるわ。
私と同じく先輩の教え子っていうことは一歩間違っていれば私もあそこにいたってことですよね。
そんな、ミカちゃんはそんな子じゃないわよ。
先輩は彼らを指導してた時こんなことをやらかすって思ってたんですか？
それは
私だって一皮むけばわからないです。
そうだわ。みんなで逃げ出しましょう。どこかこう南のリゾート地とかネットの届かないパラダイスに行って。
でたらめね。ユミは悲しいです。
あぐ。
逃げたって狙われない保証なんてありませんよ。彼らはネットだけで存在していることで満足しなくなった。リアルを侵食し始めた。だったら私は戦う。
先輩が心を痛めているのを放ってなんておけない。
リーダーが優秀なのは知ってますけど、一人で立ち向かって勝てる相手じゃないですよ。リーダーだってそれは分かってるんだもんね。
くそ、こうなるとますますサイバーフォースに通報するわけにはいかなくなったな。
私は先輩が死に急ぐのなんて見てられません。もしそんなことをするなら私
ちょっとみんな。
俺はクリミナルを、そしてリーダーを守るってあの日誓ったんだ。だから今ここにいる。少しくらい危険があるからって逃げ出したら何になる。
一緒にやりましょう、リーダー。
アンドラスがこの世に存在している限り私も安心できませんから。
恐怖で人を操ろうってのも気に入らないしな。
Kosuke's clenched fists quiver with excited emotion.
リーダーはいつも言ってました。ネットの正義のためなら命を張るって。私もそのつもりです。リーダーのためだけじゃない。これはクリミナル全体の問題なんだから。
みんな
Okay. My heart's in pieces, torn between two ambivalent, contrary emotions. I want us all to step up against Code as a team, but... Oh boy. It's getting really serious. Well... You know, I'd like to go on, but, This is another big decision, and I'm still hungry, so I'm gonna have to stop here. So next time we'll decide what to do. Until then, bye.